How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Vancouver Canucks franchise mode without the post Quinn Hughes trade. Vancouver Canucks franchise mode. Remember, today we're going to be entering free agency, and we're going to be simming a little bit of the season because free agency is pretty quick, and honestly, there's probably not that much to go over. At this point, I don't even know how I follow the rules. They're up on the screen right now. This is like the 15th time I've done this. What the hell? Back to the video. Now, last episode I left off with the question of potentially trading Jake DeBrusk and Kevin Lankinen. I thought about it a bit, and I think I'm going to hold on to DeBrusk as much as I would like to trade him. Probably at the deadline we can move him, a little bit more open to it, right? 3 years left comparative. If at the deadline it'd be more 3 years than 4. I don't know. Just kind of open to it because he's got the modified no trade now. Because I want to keep the top six at least a little bit solid. I don't want to weaken us a little bit, and I also don't feel like spending too much money in free agency at this moment. The way I'm looking at it right now is our centers for our top six is going to be Elias Pettersson, first line center, Rossi, second line center. Left wing is going to be DeBrusk with Kuzmenko on his line with him, and then it's going to be Besser and Lekkerimäki, or DeBrusk with Besser, Lekkerimäki with Kuzmenko. Two snipers. I don't really like it too much, but that's fine. Third line, we have to sign him. We didn't sign any of the unsigned players, so I wanted to kind of look around in free agency a little bit. Alexander Dadonov will be on the third line playing with Liam Ogren and Noah Osland. I'm just, for some reason, blanking on the names every time I think about it. Fourth line, it's going to be like Mueller, Ratu, maybe Coots. I don't know. Maybe Coots plays third line with Osland fourth. I don't know. Maybe we open up a potential Osland trade with a package of like Hoglander and Osland out, because Hoglander doesn't have a spot. That's actually what I did want to talk about, was Niels Hoglander. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I don't think he has a spot in the lineup for me, and I don't want to put him in the top six. No spot for him there. No spot for him in on the third line, because I want to put Dadonov with Osland and Ogren. So then the fourth line is like his best spot. I feel like he shouldn't be playing on the fourth line. So I will open up a potential trade for him and see what I can get. Honestly, it's not going to be much, but it's also going to save us $3 million for this upcoming season, which just opens up our cap space even more for potential contracts. So I think there are some expiring contracts that are probably some young players who are going to get a lot of money. If I go, we got to hand out all of these contracts that I want to hand out for the unsigned players. Tom Wielander needs a contract. He might go up. Rossi might get a bit of a raise. Kuzmenko's contract expires, but we're not too sure. Maybe he's dealt at the deadline. DPD, not sure if he'll get more money. Anyone else really with 1 year left that might get like more money? Doesn't look like it. We're not sure what the development paths are going to be for some of our players, and it opens up, I don't know, something. Maybe we could take on a contract in a trade to upgrade a position. So I did see this, and was kind of thinking about it. Devon Taves is available for the Colorado Avalanche if I just sort by value. He's their third highest valued player. He's 33 for 4 more years. Don't think it's totally worth it. It does block off what am I trying? It does block off Boyum from the top pair, but yet again, if we move Marcus Pettersson over, and then we move Niels Hoglander over, we kind of make up the money. But it seems like Colorado is in a bit more of a selling mood. I think it's really just contracts that they don't want on their payroll. I mean, Manson, you can move him. Like, maybe they just want to save the money. That could be the reason he's on the block, but I don't know. Colorado doesn't look as good as they did before, but they still have McKinnon and McCarr, so they're still by far a great team. In terms of free agency, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to view contracts, sign the RFAs, and sign the unsigned players. So let's head over. Can we do RFA? Because we just have 3. Stillman will just hand out a contract. Like, he'll literally take that. Ratu and Baines will both take contracts. Like, 2 years for Baines. That's fine. Ratu, yeah. He's going to probably be our fourth line center, so I don't mind giving him 1.5. It's totally fine. Now we head over to unsigned. We have some contracts to hand out, and some are a little tricky because Dahl, I know the rule is it's the CHL, right? That you can't go directly to the AHL. If you play elsewhere, you can go to the AHL. So Dahl didn't play in the CHL. So can he go to the AHL? Not entirely sure, but if we give him his contract just in case, then if he doesn't, he can't go to the AHL, that's fine. If he can, that's good as well. Belchetz, we'll give him a contract. He's probably going to play in the AHL if he turns 20. Lawrence, same thing. I don't think Lawrence will give him the contract, but he's going wherever he's going. I'm not sure if he's going to be the AHL. Novotny, the same thing. We could hand him a contract, but he plays for Peterborough. Smits, we're handing a contract to. I think Smits can move over. So, yeah, it showed Abbotsford for him. So I'm assuming all the players that showed Abbotsford for can move to the AHL. Dadonov, yeah, he's Vancouver. He's getting a contract. It might show Abbotsford, but, yeah, he's playing for Vancouver. I don't have that much more things to do. Like, I could enter free agency and show you the free agents. I don't think I want to sign anybody, really. I don't want to, like, the one person I would think to bring back would be Tyler Myers, who we traded at the deadline, bring him back so he can retire a Vancouver Canuck, but yet again, that blocks Tom Wielander from moving into the top four, and I feel like top four time for Wielander will help his development. Anything else is kind of signing a player to a situation where he'll be stuck in, like, Niels Hoglander, where just, like, he won't move up in the lineup. He won't have a chance to play up high after some trades, but even then we have young guys that want to move up into the top six. So we'll see. There is just the wanting to go sign some depth players who are a bit bigger and have more physical stats to help out our younger guys, like aggressiveness, body checking, strength, like Corrali here is a bit bigger, doesn't really play. His defensive stats are okay. Has a bit of a shot. Like, if anything, he goes to the AHL. 34-year-old, right? I'm not too sure. Jordan Greenway, I think, would be, like, kind of like we did Beck Mallenstein last year and Duhaime, where, right, 85, 86, strength 90, fighting skill 80, a little bit more defensive, but honestly, he's just a big body. I don't know. Luke Cunnin, I think we looked at him last season as a potential one of these guys. I think I'll go just pick him up as probably going to play in the AHL, drop it to 1 year. We can raise it a little bit. We can afford it if we give him too much money. And then if it's a bad contract, we'll just flip it for whatever pick we'll get. That's all we'll do in free agency. This is the reason I want to sim a little bit into the season, because this is about it. Like, nothing else. I mean, there is a trade. Actually, there is a trade I want to talk about. But, like, we're in a spot where we have a bunch of young players moving in where I don't want to fill up too many roster spots. I feel like getting a guy like Cunnin will just help out the depth a little bit. A guy who's a little bit bigger, who can help out with hits and stuff and be a little bit more physical, but isn't going to be a difference maker. Might play in the AHL, might play in the NHL, we don't know. That's about it. The only other thing that I've been looking at is I went through the trade blocks and I went to look at teams without goaltenders. Now, obviously there's goalies in free agency, so I'm going to wait a little bit before I make this potential move, but there is a prospect I saw that it's going to take a little bit of time to develop. He's, I think, a 68 overall. Oh, he's already a 71. He's a 71 overall left wing center, Adam Nemec, top six. They're looking to move him. Honestly, will take a bit of time to develop. It's nice to have another prospect. His value's a little bit low. He's 19. But if we trade Kevin Lankinen to them, it will be a backup role for them, because obviously they have Shesterkin. So I'm not too sure what to do. Maybe we move one of our goaltending prospects. Don't really feel like that's worth it. I want to keep those goaltending prospects, see how they develop, and then move them later if I have to. Nemec looks like a good, interesting piece. I could see us potentially moving something for him. In terms of teams without goaltenders, though, Carolina lost both their goaltenders, so they're the first team I saw that could potentially trade Kevin Lankinen to, but I want to wait a little bit till free agency, is a little bit more over. All the goaltenders have more or less been signed, and it's a little easier to move. LA is another one. They literally don't have a goaltender. Like, if we go there and they still don't have a goalie, we can get him Lankinen. St. Louis has an 83 overall goaltender, so he can compete in that spot, but yet again, they're a seller. I don't see them buying in. And lastly is Vegas. They're a buyer. Potentially, this is the best options, right? So he'll play a backup role with Aiden Hill, but it also gives them a goaltender to, help out Aiden Hill. Makes it a little bit more consistent, and they're known for trading draft picks. They got Connolly, they got a Ruck brother. That's like really about it. Maybe is Wozniak, but I feel like he's 20? Oh, he's 20. It's not. I thought he was gonna be like 22. But yeah, they got Ruck, Connolly. We can move for potentially if we wait a little bit. So we'll see. I'll sim like 10 days into free agency, check the goaltending, free agents, see what's up. We'll hear from Luke Cunnin, see if he says yes. I'm assuming he will. Yep. Just a 1-year deal. Honestly, it'll expire next year. It's not a big deal. Low risk. So we're going to sim till day 10. Day 11. We'll sim past 10 days into free agency after most of the free agents. I mean, not all of them, but most of the big ones, which probably have signed by. Yeah, 84. If we go to goaltending, yeah, Askarov, but he's restricted free agent with the Sharks. Like, the only other option is Montembeault. So we can go check those teams and see if they can still use a goaltender like Kevin Lankinen. We can see if we can get some value out of him. So the first team was Carolina. I know we can go back to Vegas and it'd be quicker, but I want to go check Carolina because they lost both their goaltenders. They ended up going to pick up Jacob Markstrom. They can use a backup, so we'll keep them in mind. LA is the next team. They actually had no goaltenders, so we'll see. They picked up Darcy. Either I missed Darcy Kemper the first time I went around, or they just signed him again, and he was in free agent. It's a 1-year deal at just under $6 million. Now, yet again, just like Carolina, they could use a backup goaltender. St. Louis, did they go out and get a goalie? Or are they still stuck with their... See, he's 82. Joel Hofer's 82. So St. Louis is like the number one option. But yet again, we probably have to take in Connor Ingram to make it make sense a little bit. And Vegas is the last team. They probably can't take his cap. They can take it. They didn't go pick up a goaltender. I wonder where all those other goaltenders went, because those are like the main teams I saw. So firstly, we'll go to Carolina. I want to go look and see what they can give up, because yet again, Lankinen's going to be a backup. The reason we want to move Lankinen is to open up a spot for Medvedev, because even if Medvedev isn't ready by the time the season starts and, we should have kept Lankinen, we can go pick up a backup goalie. Pittsburgh has a plethora of goaltenders in their system they're looking to move. If by the time we get to the edit line screen and they're still looking to move a goaltender, we could bring Arthur Shilov's back, or we could just bring in Varlamov or something like that. They have Nikishin. I don't think they're going to move him. Though Nadeau, I don't know. I don't think I'd pick up Nadeau. I'd probably pick up a prospect, and the reason that we're looking at it this way is because we sorted by overall. So now we'll actually see lower ranked. Like Hermansen wouldn't be too bad of a pickup. Or Tanamanov, yeah, like a 51 overall right defensive prospect. Although medium top 4 potential will take a while to develop, and it's more of the prospects we need. We have a lot of prospects who are like just there. If Carolina's willing to give them up, which they're not. That's the main problem, because we already did do our non-trade block trades. So yeah, doesn't look like anything at the moment for them. LA is the next team. They still need a backup. They went and got Evander Kane and already want to move him. It's pretty funny. None of their prospects they really want to move, which is weird, because they are considered a seller, but they went and picked up Evander Kane. Vegas, they're considered a buyer. They probably are going to look to move some of those guys, They want to move Connolly and Ruck. Ruck would probably be the best one for us to go and get. He would help Aiden Hill out. St. Louis, maybe want to pick up a more legit goaltender, are able to eat the contract for a little bit. But they're also sellers, so the chances of them moving a prospect is close to zero. So yeah, it looks like Vegas. Vegas is the move. The only problem is he has got a modified no trade, so we'll see if he is willing to go there. Start conversation, so we can ask him about it. Since Vegas is a team we can look to move, we will ask him. Waive it entirely. I feel like it's still very risky. Like, he wants to stay. Bill, is there a team you'd be willing to be traded to? Find us 2 teams. I feel like I'll ask him for 1. See if he's probably going to say no. I expected. I'm quite satisfied here and don't feel like to add to my list. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. I feel like if I keep asking him, I could eventually get him to say yes, but yet again, I don't want to potentially open up a move to somewhere it doesn't want to go, because I could probably find a move. Like, yet again, they don't want to move their prospects, so they're sellers too. So everyone's sellers, which makes sense why they don't have a goaltender. So now I'm going to go back through. So I'll see you guys when I'm done. I'm going to go get another list of teams who either don't have, I don't know. I feel like we run it. We have the cap space. We run it. We look maybe at the trade deadline for a team that needs a goaltender. We're able to move it. We'll run it. We will go, I don't know why I pressed that, sim to next season. So I'll see you guys at the edit line screen. All right, we're at the edit line screen. In real life, that was probably like 30 seconds, not even, to get here, which a little unexpected for me. There we go. These, oh, Lecker already went up. That's great to see. Same with Osland. Ogren went up a little bit. I am liking what I'm seeing here. So, although 2 snipers on the line, I'm not too quite sure how to feel about it. I feel like this is what I'm going to go. Actually, 2, I'd rather, it doesn't work. So then we have to do this, which I'm totally fine with. Kuzmenko, Pedersen, Lecker, Besser, Rossi, DeBrusque. And I was talking Ogren, Osland, Dadnov, with Hoglander down there, with Ratu and Cunnin. Our scratched is Mueller and Baines, who did go up 1 overall. Before I go defensive, I'm going to go to goaltender. Just to see, Thatch Demko's still a 90, Kevin Lycan an 83, Medvedev is a 77. So we made the right choice. I don't think Medvedev's ready for the NHL, so we'll keep him down there. Brayden Coots up 1. Novotny is able to play. That's perfect to see. Anyone else? Let's go to scratch. Maybe there's a guy who should not be here. Wilson Bjork. I don't see anyone really that I'm too upset about being scratched other than Jet Wu. So that's good. So I'm assuming guys like, who am I trying to think of here? Belchez and Lawrence I kind of thought would be going back to junior. But Belchez would go back to junior. Novotny, though, is old enough. I'm assuming he's turning 20 pretty soon. So Novotny, Coots, Klimovich, the first line. It's very offensively talented first line, actually. And I'm excited to see what they can do this year. Bloom, who's also been, like, for a bottom F forward, I haven't seen the development that I've seen from Josh Bloom. Thomas, I do like him as the second line center. And then Linus Karlsson just hasn't really developed too well. Also, he was like 26 when you started. So, yeah, Sasson, Oman, Ulrichsen, another one who's a bottom F forward who's developing like crazy. Wilson Bjork not being in the lineup is crazy to me. Is there anyone else that I'd rather? Patterson, Arnrey Ravinskis. Patterson's a bottom F forward as well. We did pick up a bunch of development coaches, so I could see a bunch of these guys moving up and overall. Defensively, Dahl, does he play both sides? He plays one. I feel like Kudryavtsev, Dahl, Minio, Smits, Gagne. Like, look at this decor. And honestly, as much as I like Breezeball, I'm going to put Wu in, because it's Jet Wu. Yeah, this decor, nuts. With Kudryavtsev down here, I'm trying to figure it out. I want to look at the decor last in the NHL, because we could see Boyev move up to like an 87. Maybe. just a prediction. 86. Look how close I was. 86 for Zeev Boyum. That's perfect. He's our first line left-handed defenseman. And he's going to play alongside Philip Hronek, who's an 87 overall. Vilander playing with Marcus Pettersson, and DPD with Victorio Mancini. That's how his name is put sometimes. We do need a defenseman. I'm going to bring up Kudryavtsev, and I'll play Dahl down in the AHL just to give him a little bit more ice time as a younger player than Kudryavtsev. I feel like I'm more fine with him sitting on the bench than anything. So giving Boyum that $10 million contract so far is worth it at 21.86. If he can grow to a 90, that would be awesome. Let's go to roster moves. Let's bring up Kirill Kudryavtsev. Belshit's just not old enough, I'm assuming. Like, the wrong side of 19. 77 overall medium elite will probably... Tynan Lawrence went up to 78. He just turned 19, though. Right? Absolutely on the wrong side of 19. Yeah. I say we're, like, pretty set. Is there any, like... Not really any, like, big developments in terms of prospects that I can see. Kudryavtsev coming up, so that opens up more room in the AHL for a defenseman, which is nice. It also moves... We can move Dahl up. Dahl was already up. We can move Minio up, is what I was going to say. Or we can move Smits up. I'm going to move Minio up, because although Minio is more developed, and I feel like not too sure what his development path is going to look like comparative to Albert Smits, Albert Smits, I feel like if you put him here, it's safe. He grows up to catch up to Minio, then you move him. Dahl is already ready for that spot. Can he play both sides? He cannot play both sides. Minio's the only one who can play both sides. So you could do like Smits. Yeah, no, this is fine. Gagne with Alkos. Yeah, I'm set. I'm happy with what we have in terms of our lineups. Let's go to captaincies. Let's see. So we're in the AHL, of course. So in terms of this, Dahl I'm not making Dahl the captain, nor will he have an A. Linus Karlsson, I'll just take it away. I want to see Braden Coots. I'm gonna make Braden. We don't chase waters, do we? Braden Coots will be the captain with Daniel Klimovich, and defensively, Jet Wu. Maybe I'll make... Yeah, I'll make Coots the captain. We'll give Coots some captaincy reps in the AHL. See if he can be a leader. Will it now go to set captains in the NHL? There we go. That's what I like to see. Besser, I don't think I've set a captain in this franchise mode. Elias Pettersson, I'll take away all the letters. Looking at it, Elias Pettersson, I'm going to give an A. Same with Besser. I'm not going to give him C's. I'm going to give those guys A's. And I'm going to give Philip Hronek. I'm going to give Philip Hronek captain. The new captain of the Vancouver Canucks is Philip Hronek. I think that makes the most sense out of everybody. And I feel like it's about time we set a captain, because we're building up a new core of players in our system. And they're slowly going to integrate while this core is also in there. And I feel like Hronek's going to be here for a while. So that's what we'll set. Let's go to player progression just to look. Progress reports. Just to see if there's anything to take note of in terms of development. Maybe from unsigned players who aren't in the AHL. And who won't see on the screen or I guess they won't show us anything. Just to see maybe. I think Boetinger went up a little bit. Murray might have gone up. We'll see what the development does for all these guys. But we have a bunch of prospects who might grow. So let's move into a good amount of the season. We're only 25 minutes into recording. We could move into way well past the preseason. I usually like to get the preseason done. But we can move into 2 months of simming. And we'll pick some games here. The Toronto Maple Leafs, always a fun team to play against, so we'll do the Leafs for this one. And we'll do our opening night against Colorado in the game against the Leafs. That's good for the first month. Second month, we'll do the game against the Minnesota Wild and Quinn Hughes. And I don't want to do Toronto twice. So another team I will pick is... I'm going to pick the New York Rangers and JT Miller. The second game against those guys, because I don't want to do two games that quickly. So let's sum up to the game against the Colorado Avalanche to start the season, and we'll see how we do in the first 2 months. Adam Foote conversations. Let's talk about the preseason first. I want us to get conditioning up. I want us to get a little bit more faster, and then I'll set 5-on-5 next year. He thinks we can make the play. Looking at this roster, there's some kinks to work out. But this thing is good. I can't read. Kinks to work out, but I think this team is good enough to compete for a playoff spot. That is my goal. If I say no expectations, everything goes wrong. I don't think we're going to make the final, so we could try to make a push for the playoffs and start our work, but if we're missing, I'm going to sell. If we're staying, I might stand put, maybe look to move Jake DeBrusk, but that's really about it. Depending on how if Dadonov really develops, then I feel like opening up a potential DeBrusk trade is a little bit more obvious, right? Because we need spots in the top of our lineup, and I just moved Lekkerimäki down, and I never thought Lekkerimäki would be a first-line guy. I always thought he would be second line. The reason he's on the first line... Is he? Yeah. The reason he's on the first line is because the chemistry works a little bit better, and that's fine. I'm not even touching potential chemistry right now because we don't even have our pieces fully developed. But let's hop into this game. Mackenzie Blackwood versus Thatcher Demko. Cale Makar versus Zeev Boyum, I guess, is the two stud defensemen. I know Hronek technically is our best one. First period, no goals. Second period, 1-1. Rossi gets the first goal of the year. Nichushkin gets one for them. And then Nathan McKinnon. Nate Dogg has awoken, but Besser answers immediately. We get a power play, 5-on-3. I need to edit the power play as Cale Makar gets a goal in between a power play, but then Kuzmenko gets one. And then another one on the power play for Besser. That's 2 for him tonight. Brocktober has started. Rossi with his second of the game on the power play again. Tzplatov gets one, though. They have a power play, 5-on-3. One for Landeskog. Are we going to blow it here? And we're going to go to overtime in the first game of the year and in a shootout. So let's go back. So the scoring started in the second period of just Rossi and Nichushkin. But the third period it really opened up. McKinnon, Besser, Makar. So they had the lead, and then we got 3, and then they were able to get 2 to tie it. So let's hop into overtime. Yet again, I forgot to put the sliders I want to put in. So hopefully eventually I'll be able to do that because I might forget. And I forgot to do CPU. So I'll see you guys in overtime. Alright, we're here in overtime. Elias Pettersson. I also forgot to touch the overtime lines because sometimes they don't make it that great. But I see DeBrusk, Pettersson, and Hronek, and I don't mind this at all. So it's two guys in our top 6 and our best defenseman. Cale Makar steals it on a potential DeBrusk shot. Here comes Natchez to McKinnon. Goes for a shot. Natchez goes to the net. Demko able to stop that. Oof. Commentary is going to be bad. If I can't read, the commentary is not going to be good. So Hronek, Pettersson, he's got DeBrusk with him, takes a shot. That was the smart move. He couldn't get a pass off. They were not able to create space. They just play too close together sometimes. Natchez has McKinnon. Good play by Hronek. Sends it up. Besser on a breakaway. Right off the bench. Besser scores! Hat-trick for Besser in overtime. And we win the first game of the year. Let's go. The hats go flying in Vancouver as we start the year with a win, and Vilander needs to switch to number 5 right now. I don't like seeing that number 26 on him. It's just awkward for me. Let's go. Besser in overtime. It's awesome to see the hats in the overtime celebration. I don't think I've seen that since they've added those. And he got caught up to by Cale Makar, who has wheels. But luckily, he was just so far ahead that it didn't matter. He played good puck protection, and he's got a career 13.5 shooting percentage. Nice. Beats Blackwood. And the Canucks open with a win. Let's go. Let's hop out a 6-5 win, too. What an entertaining game. Even if we lost, like if this was real life, if I went to a game and it was 6-5 and we lost, I don't think I'd complain. I'd be upset that we lost, but at the same time, it'd be a fun game to watch. Let's head over to the game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The third game of the year. So let's see how we do against the Lightning. As we go on an East Coast road trip, we pick up another win. And Toronto is a perfect 3-0, with us being 2-0. Lankinen will be starting this game against Anthony Stolarz. Lankinen picked up a win against the Lightning. He also let in 4. Well, I mean, Demko let in 5. Lankinen let in 4. Hoglander opens up the scoring. Ogren gets one on the power play. Ogren on the power play, yet again. What did I say I wanted to do? Go edit the power play lines. Seems like the power play might be working. I don't think I'm going to touch it. Easton Cowan gets one for them. Second period, we get 2 more. Rossi and Hoglander on the power play. We'll slow sim the third period, but if we get one, I'm simming all the way. Boom. Lekkerimäki, thank you. We get one more from Elias Pettersson. Austin Matthews gets one for them. A perfect 3-0 to start the year for your Vancouver Canucks. We'll see if that lasts. As I'll see you guys. I'm going to skip right to it. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. What will our record be when we face the Minnesota Wild? I know I'm not at the Wild game, but I know I can do splits. I just wanted to take a look. This is the end of October. These are the Brocktober numbers. 3 goals, 7. So he scored 3 goals, and he got 7 assists in the games after for 10 points. What a month for Brock Besser. I'll see you guys at the Wild game. I don't want to spoil the record we're at right now. All right, as you can see, yeah, it didn't go well at all. We picked up 3 wins and then 9 straight losses. We got 2 points, but I went against Colorado, and our record is not looking great, but luckily the Minnesota Wild's record doesn't look that great either. They're last in their division. We're second last, so at least we're a spot ahead of them in terms of divisional record. Let's go. First period here, we get 1. Niels Hoglander, yet again. Second period, they get 1. Zuccarello, I wonder who assisted it. Power play gets killed off. Lekkerimäki, bang, 2-1. Let's go. We need a win here. This would be a feel-good win for us. And Brock Faber immediately puts a dagger into that. The power play gets killed off for Minnesota. 2-2. Are we going to see another overtime? Knock on wood quickly before I jinx it for us. 7 seconds. Anything can happen in 7 seconds. We are heading to overtime yet again against Quinn Hughes. Oh, and we're going to see him in the overtime, aren't we? All right, we are in overtime. Luckily, there's no penalties, so I would hate to see a power play in overtime for the Minnesota Wild with that guy on their blue line. There it is, Quinn Hughes. The first time seeing him in-game in this franchise mode as Kaprizov gets knocked off the puck. Hronek has a break, but Pettersson can't find the pass, and people are calling for a trade after this game if we lose. He had Hronek. He could have probably got it to him. Oh, Hronek yet again. Oh, but he had to stop for it, and Quinn Hughes obviously going to get back. Hronek with a blast, but it's stopped by Gustafsson. Wallstedt didn't develop, and I think they ended up moving him, which was weird. Wallstedt, very good this season. I know it's talked as they might move him this year for a center, which makes sense because that's what they need. And Wallstedt would be a hot commodity. DeBrusk, oh, and goaltenders don't have that much value as Kaprizov. He's skating it. Hronek able to play it great defensively. Look at Hronek shutting down the second best 97 in the league. DeBrusk has Pettersson. He doesn't make the pass in time. Pettersson avoids the check. Hronek skates in that shot with block, so it was very weak. Gustafsson easily covers Faber on the ice, so we don't have to deal with Quinn Hughes. Probably going to be Rossi and Besser. It's Rossi and Kuzmenko. Okay. Hartman on the ice for them. Rossi wins the draw. Kuzmenko. Shot stopped. Kuzmenko gets the puck back up. We got full pressure. That's nice to see. Kuzmenko, oh, he moves it the wrong way. I would have liked to see him moving up a little bit earlier towards our blue line. This game's about, I mean, it's more possession in real life than it is here because they kind of just make dumb rushes. Vilander to Kuzmenko. Gets pinned up against the boards. Hartman picks it up. Rossi could have a potential. He missed the puck. What a bad angle. As Boldy gets it, he's going to look to make a pass. Finds Zuccarello. Gets pinned by... Yeah, he has no energy. So he easily got pinned by Kuzmenko, but they're able to bring the puck up the ice. Here's Faber. Makes a nice move. Has a lane. Sends Hartman, and Hartman scores. Oh my. This season's going to fall. But I don't think we're making the... I mean, it's just the second month of the year, but I don't know if we're making the playoffs. Why does it get so loud when you do that? Man. Alright, so we'll sim to the game against the New York Rangers. I'm going to sim with you guys just so we can watch whatever happens because there's a bunch of games Before we get there, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games before we get there. So it could flip our season. We can go on an insane 8-game winning streak, and we'll see. But I don't think so with how we're playing as a recent. We just dropped down to the worst team in the Pacific. That's a win for us right there. That's a loss. Oh, a win against Columbus. A loss against New Jersey. A win against Toronto. A loss against Buffalo. A win? A win against Dallas, so I'm assuming this game will probably be a loss, but we will still slow sim it with how the season's going. Demko just not looking great in the game. Like a 90 overall goaltender, not looking great. But yet again, our team isn't that good. Let's go look at we'll look at the stats at the end of the month, and we'll sim through this game. Sim the rest of the month. We'll look at the stats, and we'll sign off for this one. Here against the New York Rangers, first period, they get 2. Trocheck and Palat. Second period, they get another one from Trocheck. Third period, we're down 3-0. Just don't get shut out, please, at least. Power play. Can we strike? Nope. But Kuzmenko strikes right after it. Even strength goal for Kuzmenko, and Zibanejad gets one. As this one, yet again, goes back to a 3-goal lead for the Rangers. 5 minutes to go. We get one. Ratu in the fourth line, striking for us. A power play late, but it gets killed off, and the momentum goes away for a potential tie late. And we lose 4-2 to the Rangers, just as I predicted with how the win-loss was going. So I'm assuming a win against the Flyers, and we will never know until next episode against the Penguins, because we're not simming that far, but we'll sim up to the Penguins game. We beat the Flyers. Oh, no, we actually lose to the Flyers. There we go. The streak has been broken of win-loss, 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 and this record does not look great, as we are 8-12-3. Good enough for last in the Pacific, second last in the West. I'm assuming the East might be a little bit worse than the Blue Jackets. So we're actually the third worst team in the NHL. Honestly, if this is the year we're going to tank and get a low pick, I don't mind. Let's go look at the draft class. Before we go look, let's go look at the draft class that we're going to mysteriously go on it does have Maddox Schultz, and he's not the potential first overall pick. I like to see that, because I know Maddox Schultz has a good potential. And what is he? He's a center left winger. Like, yeah, we can obviously use him. I probably want a defensive prospect, but obviously if Maddox Schultz, there you go, best player available. Let's go check our stats for the players. We'll also, I don't think we got to check progression reports. I don't think any of our players would have gone up in overall. We could check the guys we want to check. Brock Besser, 20 points, 6 goals, 14 assists. He's doubled his totals since October. Pedersen's got 18 points. He's doing decent. Kuzmenko, Rossi, both with 13. DeBrusque 12. Hronik 12. Lekkernmäki 10. So he's the worst out of our top 6, but I mean, younger. I'll give him a little bit of grace. Vlander's got 10 points as well. That's nice to see. Still an 84 overall. Hoglander, Ogren probably hasn't gone up. No, I'm assuming nobody has gone up in overall. Cunnin, Boyum not doing too great offensively for an offensive defenseman. But yeah, we'll give him a little bit of grace. Dadonov not doing too well. Third line checking forward. He's a two-way forward. Might just be a slow season for him. I don't know if I move him into the top. Maybe we move him in, and we move. I don't want to move Lekkernmäki down. -7, just not great. And Marcus Pedersen, I don't know what it is. Marcus Pedersen is not simming great. Let's check the AHL stats. Anyone standing? Oh, look at Braden Coots. Look at Braden Coots go. Same at Novotny. Same at look at that first line. Just having a great time down there. Dahl looking pretty good with 9 points in 19 games. The guy, an offensive defenseman. Albert Smith's got 9 points as well. Oof. This season has quickly fallen apart. Medvedev, though, we'll look at Medvedev's stats. A 932 with a 1.98 goals against average, and he's only won 6 of his 14 games. Wins is not a goalie stat, it's a team stat. But without further ado, that is it for this one. Yeah, if we're tanking, we'll sim up to the deadline in the next episode. I have a feeling we're going to be tanking. I would sim a little bit farther, closer to the not closer to the deadline. I wanted to keep it at least a little bit farther away where we have a little bit more simming. We can get a little bit more done, have a little bit more conversation, spread out the next video a little bit, maybe not do the deadline if there's a bunch of question marks. But if it's still like, if we go on a bit of a win streak, but we're still out of the playoffs, I might just move to Brusque, move Dadonov up, and see what that does. But without further ado, that is it for this one. If you're a Canucks fan and you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I set a goal to try to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this real-life regular season. And don't forget to leave a like down below. And yeah, I don't really know. I don't have a question here. I'm saying, honestly, embrace the tank, and I think we're still embracing the tank here. I don't think we're close to getting out. I think we just need to wait for some of our players to develop. But yeah, the video on your right is the video from Monday. The video on your left is the video from Friday. Subscribe's right down under the video from on your right. And I'll see you guys in the next one.